So right now I have with me James Sullivan, who is the program director of the upcoming Newburyport Documentary Film Festival. Welcome, James.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming in. I always say to the guests, when they thank me for having them, I say, well, without the guests, we wouldn't have much of a show. You know, nobody wants to listen to me talk for an hour. Nobody wants to listen to me talk for 10 minutes. Theo doesn't want me talking at all. So thank you for coming in. So, tell us about the Documentary Film Festival. How many years has it been going on? And we'll get into some details about this year's festival. But let's talk about it at 50,000 foot view.
Right. We've been around for 17 years now, doing a festival every September, a weekend-long, 3-day festival, typically ranging sort of in the 24 to 30 film range. For the entire run of the festival, we've been using the Firehouse Center for the Arts for our major films and the screening room as well.
Well, first of all, you couldn't have two better venues.
Right. Yeah, we are totally blessed in this area to have those two places to screen films. And obviously the Firehouse does more than just screen films. But, yeah, we love the screening room. We're very pleased that the new owners have come into town and, kept the place going and kept it vital and vibrant. And, both venues are work perfectly for us.
So is there a theme to the film festival this year?
No, we never the theme is to try to cover as many subjects as we possibly can. I mean, excuse me, one of the things about documentary film that we all love and why we devote our time to this festival is that documentary can cover everything under the sun. Every kind of human experience there is. So we like to say that we bring the world to Newburyport. I think other documentary film festivals say the same about their areas.
Yeah, but nobody does it as well.
Well, that's true. we think we do a pretty good job with our with our volunteer staff, all volunteer staff.
And it is, is it unusual for a city of 18,000 to have literally a world-class film festival?
Yes. There are other film festivals in smaller cities. But typically, right, most of the film festivals end up being in larger cities. There are not all that many documentary-only film festivals. There are a couple of really big ones. One's in Toronto, one's in North Carolina. We don't compete with, but we are sort of in the same league as places like Camden, Maine, which runs a film festival, and Woods Hole has a film festival, but most other film festivals show feature films and some documentaries. We focus specifically on documentary films.
And why is that?
Because we love them.
Good answer.
Yeah. Well, our founder, Michelle Fino, is kind of our emeritus board member at this point. She essentially started the festival on her own, and she loves documentary film. I got involved a few years after Michelle founded the festival, in large part because I'm a journalist and a book author. I write for the Boston Globe. I've done that for many years. I've written 5 books, and to me, documentary film is, in many ways, the film version of the kind of feature story writing I do as a journalist. And our director, Joanne Morris, has been with the festival a little longer than I have, and she sort of took over for Michelle when Michelle decided to step back and let other people run the show.
I think the first time I interviewed anyone for the film festival, I think it was Michelle. And she has taken a step back, but that's okay. She started it, and she handed it off to people that have been very good at carrying the torch.
Well, it's incredible what she was able to do in the first years to
by
make
herself.
It happen basically by herself, right? Because we are always welcome to newcomers. Every year we welcome a few newcomers who end up becoming key parts of our team, and we have a couple of people who have just come in the last couple of years. Hi, Chris Connor, you're probably listening. She's been an incredible resource for us in terms of organizing us. I mean, we are an all-volunteer organization. We do everything on our own free time and our own dime. And, we were not particularly well organized for years. And, we just had the enthusiasm and the energy to make it happen. And Chris has really gotten us organized. And so we, every year or two, it seems we add a couple of more key members to our steering committee or to our production team. And we welcome all the help we can get. And I can't believe that Michelle was able to do it on her own.
How many films are you going to be showing this year?
We have 28 films. We have 10 feature films and 18 short films. The short films will be shown in blocks of shorts. So those are actually themed. We have 3 shorts blocks that people can stream at any point during the festival, which runs September 17th through the 26th. We can talk about those themes in a minute if you want to. The feature films sort of run the gamut from extremely quirky to extremely serious and hard-hitting journalism-type pieces. That's a pretty typical number for us. Maybe the featured number is down a little bit because of the whole COVID era situation. Yeah, we tend to show something like 25 or 30 films each year during the festival.
And is it possible for someone to just let's talk about the hybrid version of the film festival that you're running this year because
COVID.
Because
exactly, right.
Yeah, because
right. So last year we did the film festival all virtually. Of course, no one was allowed to go into movie theaters at the time. And so we managed to pull off, we pulled a rabbit out of our hat and made it happen pretty successfully, we think. We made the films available to stream online through a platform called Eventive. Really, all you need to do is go to our website and click through to find a film and buy a ticket to watch it. This year, we had every intention of showing all of our films in the live setting back at the screening room and also the Firehouse. And we were also going to show the films, stream them virtually for the following week, so that people could watch any of them at any time, including those who were unwilling to sit down in a reasonably full movie theater or hopefully sold out movie theater. A couple of weeks ago, we made the very difficult decision because of the rising concerns once again about COVID to scale back our in-person events. So we are showing one film each night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, September 17th through the 19th at the Firehouse Center. Those are what we consider our showcase films. Those time slots, Friday night, Saturday night, would have been our showcase films anyway. But we're not showing anything other than one specific event that I can mention, which is a youth filmmaking awards show that we're going to do at the screening room on Saturday afternoon. Other than that, we're not doing anything else live, and all the films will be available to stream through the 26th of September.
So for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, you have one film each evening, and everything else is streaming. How can people view the films when they're streaming?
Yeah, so you just go to Newburyport DocuFest, nbptdocufest.org, or just Google Newburyport Documentary Film Festival. Go to our website. Very clear on the homepage how to click through to buy a ticket to stream any of the films or to buy a ticket to one of those live events at the Firehouse. And the whole schedule is there, posted on the homepage of our website, and hopefully you find a couple things that you love. I should also mention, maybe now, that anybody who's interested or have seen our films in the past and are considering doing so again today, we are doing our preview party, which we've done also as a live event over the last several years at the Grog and then at the Mission Oak. This year we're doing that as a virtual event. That is going to be this coming Wednesday, September 8th at 7 p.m. Again, you can just go to our website to find that, but we're going to be streaming that live through YouTube and Facebook, live event just to watch for free, and it'll be us talking about the films that we're showing and all the trailers. So you spend an hour with us and take a look at all the trailers and see what films really catch your eye and what you might buy a ticket to. Is
that a ticketed event as well?
No, you just register to watch it actually you don't even have to register. You just go to our website or our Facebook page or our YouTube channel and just stream it. Just click on it and watch it live. And we will also archive that so that if you don't join us on Wednesday night, you can watch it after the fact.
Okay, and so it's not interactive; it's just viewing. And
correct.
It's happening live Wednesday, September 8th at 7 p.m.
Correct.
Or anytime after that.
Right.
All right. So you mentioned that the shorts are being shown in groups of 3, and there's themes to those?
Yeah, so documentary film lovers tend to really enjoy blocks of short film, not just at our festival. It's a thing that lots of festivals do, sort of lump together a cluster of short films to make for an hour and a half long program. What we try to do is we after we get all our submissions from filmmakers for the year, and we decide which short films we want to accept into our festival, we then try to see if we can find themes among them. And this year we actually were lucky enough and pleased enough to find some pretty fantastic themes, we think. So one of the shorts blocks is called The Art of Community. And it is 5, I believe, short films about, it's 4 short films, I think, about what makes a neighborhood, what makes a particular area of the world feel like home to its residents. And those films range from right here in Boston to all the way over to the North Sea in the UK. Another theme of the shorts blocks is called Silver Linings, and that we sort of fully expected to get a bunch of short films submitted about the pandemic, and we did get those, but the best ones that we wanted to accept into the festival that we found were sort of sideways looks at the pandemic, not just sort of, yes, we're all stuck at home, yes, we can't go out, yes, I'm bored out of my mind, yes, I'm frustrated that we can't see, hug each other, all that kind of stuff. The films are really more unusual looks at. So one's about a young family in Somerville who are raising a young boy who's 2 years old, and he's never known anything outside of the pandemic. So it's the challenges of raising a kid who's stuck at home with his parents. We have another one about the flower market in California and how there are certain towns, certain farm towns, where the farms really exist because they sell flowers on the wholesale market, and their industry was, of course, devastated because funerals and weddings were canceled.
Oh, and that's half their business, probably more than half.
More than half.
Yeah.
So that short film is about the community rallying around these farms to help them succeed, to help them make it through the COVID process. So without sort of, spelling out every single film, that's the nature of that shorts block. And then the third one...
It's kind of a reverse look. It's not the doom and dread. It's some of the good things that have come from...
Which is why we called it Silver Linings, scenes from the pandemic.
I think there are some good things that have come. And one of the good things, I think, is the ability or the decision for the Documentary Film Festival to stream the films.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's going to expand your audience. Yes. I think that the Literary Festival did a similar thing, and they had folks from Europe
exactly.
and Asia logging on to the Literary Festival that never would have come to Newburyport. So it's kind of raising the awareness of these festivals.
We feel absolutely that way. We were very happy. We weren't happy about COVID, but we were happy that we were forced into the opportunity to learn how to put the festival online and make it a virtual event last year. We did. We have a film coming to us from a director in Australia this year. So hopefully and we had one last year from Australia, actually, and we had people streaming from Australia, and we have another film by a German filmmaker this year. So people will hopefully stream that from overseas. Among other things, I'm a college professor at Emerson College, and the whole idea about having to learn how to present class on Zoom, is a whole other component to teaching, and we've applied that to the film festival, and it has been a silver lining for us.
Tell us about the youth award that you have.
Brand new event that we're launching this year, thanks to 2 of those newish members of our team that I just made reference to a minute ago. Thanks so much to George and Peter. Peter Karzasti and George Aranio. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, George. I actually not just realizing now I've never said that out loud before. George and Peter came up with an idea to create an award presentation asking college-level student filmmakers to submit their short films. And so the award is called the Young Emerging Filmmaker Showcase, and we are abbreviating that to the YES Award. This year on September 18th, Saturday at 1 o'clock at the screening room, we are going to present the very first student film showcase for the YES Award. I think we have a half a dozen submissions that have been accepted to screen, and then a panel of judges will pick a winner and award that winner the first YES Award and some other considerations. So we reached out to area colleges, obviously knowing that in the Boston area and surrounding New England, there are an awful lot of great film studies programs, and there are a lot of young emerging filmmakers who come out of this area from the various schools. So we reached out to the film departments and asked them if they wanted to let their students know that they could submit films, and we look forward to having that be a component of the festival for years into the future.
How many entrants do you have?
We have 6 this year. So we'll be, if you come to the event, you'll see 6 short student films. It's a free event. 6 short student films with the students in attendance, so they can talk a little bit about their film studies and the project and how they came up with the idea for the project, and we'll talk to them a little bit about that, and then we'll pick a winner.
And that's a great resume builder for those students.
Absolutely.
to say that they,
right.
I mean, they, even if they don't win, they were selected to be in the festival.
Right. They get their laurels.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And when is that happening again? I'm sorry.
Sure. That's the one event that we're actually doing live at the screening room. That's 1 o'clock on Saturday the 18th.
And first come, first serve, or do you have to make a reservation online?
That's a good question. No, I would imagine you need. I actually should know the answer to this and don't off the top of my head. So I think you probably need to register for a ticket, but it is a free event. Could be first come, first served. I don't know. Check our website.
Check the website, and the website address is
www.nbptdocufest.org.
So NBPT for Newburyport,
Yep.
Docu for so you don't have to type out documentary.
Exactly.
For the spelling challenge, and festival.org.
Fest.org.
Fest.
Yep.
Oh, you don't even have to spell out festival.
Nope.
So in the past years, you've had film directors come and speak about their films. What's going on with that this year?
Well, we like to pride ourselves on bringing as many filmmakers as possible to Newburyport to interact with the audience, and speak to the audience. We do on-stage interviews if they're here after their film screens, and let the audience interact with them and ask questions. You know, it's something that a lot, if not most, film festivals do, but we really try to make sure that we get as many filmmakers as possible to come. So
is it easier to get documentary filmmakers to come because it is a documentary film festival, so they know they're talking to documentary fans?
I mean, you know, I think feature film directors appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to people who want to see their film as well. I think what's easy about what's made our job in getting filmmakers to come somewhat easier is the fact that we're in Newburyport, and people say, "Ooh, I've always wanted to go to Newburyport, and if you're going to put me up at the Essex Inn for a night, I would be happy to come and talk about my film." And so in past years, we've had some great events where we've had what we call the Filmmakers Roundtable, where every filmmaker who's in town for the weekend will gather together at the Port Tavern with me and whoever wants to listen to us, and we'll just have sort of a round robin conversation about the art of making documentary films. And that's one of our most entertaining, I think, events of the year, but unfortunately we're not able to do that this year. So because we made that sort of last minute decision to scale back on the live events, the films, the vast majority of the films are being only going to be seen by streaming them online. So we are in the process of conducting interviews with almost all of the filmmakers that will be available to watch. If you order a film to stream during the festival, chances are highly likely that there will be additional content, an interview between me and the filmmaker that you can watch afterwards, in lieu of being able to see them live. But we do have the 3 films that we are having at the Firehouse. We are working to get 2 of those 3 filmmakers here. One is coming from Germany, and we are keeping our fingers crossed that he'll be able to get here.
He said, "I've always wanted to go to Newburyport."
Yes, right. Well, his film is actually, it's called An Impossible Project, and it starts with, it's about analog media technologies and one visionary European man who decides to revive the film needed to use the old Polaroid instant cameras.
Oh.
So there's very much of a Boston angle to this film.
Because
it's about
Polaroid was founded in Cambridge.
Exactly.
And Dr. Land was the founder of Polaroid.
Exactly. And there's a lot of, sort of Polaroid retirees in the area who are looking forward to seeing our film, this filmmaker's film. The film ends up being about this Austrian guy who starts the company 15 or so years ago to make Polaroid film again. Is a terrible businessman, but a very much of a great idea guy. Brings in a businessman to get the company on its feet, and the businessman eventually kicks the main characters out of his own company. So
the age-old story.
Yes. So, but he's gone on to become a champion for all kinds of analog technologies, and just the idea that we should not do away with older forms of media just because something new and digital and shiny has replaced it.
Despite the fact that we're a podcast and we're available digitally, I'm an analog kind of guy. I've got my stereo set up with all my my 500 LPs, and bought a new turntable during the pandemic, and it's all set up.
A lot of people did that. I have never not had a turntable, but if you watch the interviews with the filmmakers, you'll see in my home office, my turntable is right over my shoulder. It's always looking at me from while I'm doing the interviews.
There's something special. I have a friend. He's like, "Why would you do that? You have to clean the record, and you have to do this, and you have to." Yeah. It's like, it's the ritual. There's a ritual to it that I actually enjoy.
There's no question about it. Right.
While you were talking, I checked, and you do have to pre-register. You can get tickets online for the Young Emerging Filmmakers Showcase, which is happening on September 18th at 3 o'clock at the Screening Room. So go to the website, nbpt.docufest.org, and there's the schedule, and you can get your tickets there for the Young Emerging Filmmaker Showcase event at the Screening Room. What's the one film you're so much looking forward to seeing?
Well, I hate to single any one of them out.
Of course,
I've seen them.
Pick
all.
Your favorite kid, right?
Well, I'll recommend the.
You can go to 2 if you want.
Yeah, I'll recommend the films that are actually showing in person, which in part at the Firehouse, in part because they sort of run the gamut of what we tend to show as a film festival. So the Friday night film is called SET, S-E-T ! And it is like such an absurd subject. It is about the competitive world of table setting. And you've never heard of... Yes, we all laugh too. I think that's part of the idea behind the film, is that who knew there was such a thing?
It's going to be in the Olympics next time around.
Not only is there such a thing, but the people, the real life people who the film follows, who are training basically for their table setting competition. They are it's like the thing that they live for.
It's very serious.
It's amazing.
I'm sure it is.
It's a hilarious movie for all the right reasons. It's just a bizarre world. It's like we keep saying it's like Waiting for Guffman and all those sort of mockumentaries. All those films about dog shows and small town theater projects and things like that are supposed to be silly. This is like real life silly. So that's our Friday night showcase.
Do they tell you which fork to use?
That's exactly what they do. They set a table with a bouquet and a centerpiece and all the if your silverware is out of line by 2 millimeters, you're probably not going to win. I mean, that's exactly what they do. It's a very quirky film, and that's Friday night. That's our opening film. Saturday night, I already mentioned, is An Impossible Project, which is about this eccentric European who revives the Polaroid film brand, and then becomes a champion for all manner of analog, tactile media. And our Sunday night film is very much on the other end of the spectrum. It's called United States versus Reality Winner. For those of you news junkies out there, Reality Winner is the spectacularly named young woman reality winner who worked for the NSA and was about 25 years old when she made the decision to leak documents that she uncovered at the NSA that proved that the Russians did in fact interfere in the 2016 election to try to get Donald Trump elected, and then the Trump administration put her in jail. So it's a powerful, very serious, very sobering film about a specific aspect of the Trump presidency and its aftermath. Very well done by a documentary filmmaker who certainly knows what she's doing and how to handle that kind of material. So those three films sort of run the gamut of what we show. Everything from the completely odd and quirky and hilarious to the very much serious, sober news side of things.
I might have to go to the table setting film.
Well, so we would love to have as many folks as possible come to see these films in person. We're doing masking and proof of vaccination. We want everybody to be as safe as possible. But all the films, again, are also available to be streamed at any point from the 17th through the 26th online for those who are maybe uncomfortable sitting in a movie theater. So we would love to see you there in one way or the other.
All right. So again, the Documentary Film Festival is happening Friday, September 17th, Saturday, September 18th, and Sunday, the 19th. One event each night, plus the Youth Award event at the screening room on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Go to nbptdocufest.org.
Or just Google us, right?
Or Google Newbury. That's how I get there. Newburyport Documentary Film Festival. And 28 films in all. Can you buy a pass for all of the films?
Yes. In fact, you can. You can stream. You can buy an all-access pass for $75. It's a great deal. And you can see all of those shorts blocks that I mentioned and all 10 documentary or feature films, rather. So we would love to see you there in one way, in person or online or both.
It's something that's somewhat unique in Newburyport, the Documentary Film Festival. But I haven't said this in a long time. We live in the best place on earth. We have film festivals, and we have literary festivals, and these are world-class kind of deals that we have right in our backyard.
We like to think so. Thanks for saying so.
You're very welcome. So, James, thanks for all the work you're doing with the Documentary Film Festival. You seem to be very passionate about it.
Oh, I love it. I mean, again, I'm a journalist. I'm a book author. I love nonfiction subjects, and this to me is the filmed version of what I do. And so I love my job, and I love this avocation, I guess you'd call it, that I devoting all this
like
time
Local
to.
Pulse for me.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Well, thank you again. It's happening Friday the 17th through Sunday the 19th of September. Just Google Newburyport Documentary Film Festival, and that'll get you there. Thanks for coming in to talk about it, and we're looking forward to the table setting competition film, and I'll figure out which fork to use.